Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our recordings for the Project Management Technology Summit. This is Elaine Jackson from Holistic Project Management Consulting. We are still doing a lot of the interviews, and we are now up to a great interview. Sit back and enjoy. We're going to be interviewing Jennifer Ching. And Jennifer, I want to talk a little bit about her background, and then we'll get right into the interview. So Jennifer is a specialist in operations management and project management, and she works in the space of marketing. She is also familiar with PMOs and also does a lot of creative work. So I wanted to talk to Jennifer about her ability to help bring teams to success, and also what she does in the marketing space. Welcome, Jennifer. Welcome.
Hi, Elaine. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So talk to us a little bit about some of the tools. You talk a lot about tools and leadership, and I'd like to know more about some of the services that you provide and how do you go about helping companies?
Yeah. So I guess to start there is I'll just say, my company, Jennifer Ching Consulting, we are a small agency, and my background in systems and tools has really led me down this path. I really like to get into the back end systems and see how they work. I made a career for myself out of evaluating tools and trying, the scrappy project management when you don't have a huge budget, but you need to get things done and you need to optimize. And so for me, that key has always been technology, but I also have embraced that adoption, and the people who run it and use it are keys to that success. So for me, tools and systems and process is all a huge part of my business now. And even though we do marketing services, I really consider myself more of a technology consultant first and marketing creative second. I worked in corporate for over a decade and stood up a project management team. We built an intake system using SharePoint back in the day. And, all of those experiences just led me to this place where I felt like corporate has access to a whole bunch of a great talent pool and people who have expertise. And when it comes to small businesses and entrepreneurs, they don't have that same talent pool because that comes with finding, people and finances, right? And so for me, it's a really big piece of my mission to bring that like top-notch talent to smaller businesses. And I've kind of become a Swiss Army knife in that sense, where I try to help people through whatever challenges they're facing. If there's a tech tool that can help them, I'd like to do that. But really, I love free stuff, free tools, because if you can figure out how to do something for no cost or low cost, you've already put a value in there that wasn't there before. So that's part of what I do. We also do a lot of work with an app platform. So we do a lot of data management and database management. And one of the things that I have nerded out on recently with my friend is Airtable. And so that's a big chunk of what I want to talk about at the summit.
Well, I don't want to, thank you so much, Jennifer, but I do not want to release all the nuggets here because people will be like, oh, we got it. We don't need to go to the summit. No, you need to come to the summit. You need to hear a lot more. It's like sometimes you share something and someone thinks, oh, I've got it all. Really? You've gotten like 20 years of stuff in 10 minutes? Do you really believe you're that good? No. So Jennifer, on Airtable, I know that we have a friend in common, and she has been really singing your praises. And she said, oh, she has this tool and project managers are using it. So are you finding, I don't want to talk too much about the tool here, but I would like to know, you talk about that there are sometimes tools that are free. Someone actually told me pay top dollar so you have all the security settings. What is your feeling on that?
That's a really great point. And I absolutely agree with you. Like, I think that the value of a tool, there's lots of ways to look at that, but one of them is how they handle your data. And, Airtable is relatively new-ish. So a lot of their features are still in beta, but they do have their security policy. Like you could go to their website and take a look. Like they are very cautious about data. But all in all, I think my point is, you have to be mindful about what you put into your tools, no matter what you're paying and no matter, what you're using them for. Like, you just don't want to risk putting things in there like social security numbers, like the obvious stuff, right? But I also feel that, you could pay top dollar for a tool, but if you don't have the leeway or the time to demo it properly and make sure it suits all your needs, what you're then paying for something that you just don't know, you haven't had the flight time in to see if it's really of value to you and your company. And that's kind of the first step for me is, asking myself, why do I need this? Do I have something already that does this? And if I do, can this new tool replace the other thing? And as I came from corporate, but I've now started my own business. I didn't have a lot of fun starting up. And so you do have to explore, okay, what can I get for low cost or no cost? How can I grow this? What data am I putting in it? And how am I going to use it? And all of that is really been the backbone to me starting my company.
Thank you. Well, Jennifer, that's so funny what you just said. I almost wanted to laugh out loud because have you ever purchased something and then you see it a couple of years later, but you didn't remember you had it? And you're like, oh my God, that looks so, oh my God, that looks so great. That's so great. And you you're like, wait a minute. And then you check wait a minute, I already had this product.
Yeah.
It's like going shopping and buying the same dress twice.
Hey, everybody runs victim to that new shiny syndrome. I mean, that is something my co-founder for my app, Workaround, Nicole, she is an Airtable advisor and she's also an evangelist of the product. But we have this constant conversation going about everybody's victim to that new shiny syndrome. And I find that regularly with my clients. It's like they will buy the next new thing because they think this is what's going to solve it. This is what's going to be the tool that ends all my problems. And really, they start getting this huge tech stack of all this stuff, and they either haven't set it up, they never figured out how to use it, or they've got like these duplications, right? They've got several programs that do the same thing. And part of the things that I don't want to give away too much, but part of my giveaway is going to be how a small business owner can evaluate their personal technology stack and make smarter choices.
Excellent. I'm sorry, my lighting sort of went crazy over here. I apologize for that. Yeah, so I understand you mentioned something about a stack earlier. Did you review tech stack? Is that the same thing? Like how many products you have?
Okay, so I'm using corporate language here. Basically, I feel that a tech stack audit can be applied to a small business, right? You're piling tools upon tools upon tools. You need to evaluate that regularly to make sure you are not overspending or have product duplication, because it's just a waste of money. It is. And so part of that is when somebody is looking for a new tool, it's looking at what they've got already and giving them advice on, is this thing, why do you want this thing? How are we going to use it? And then once it's in place, who's going to run it? Because the worst thing would be to buy this new fancy tool that's like, you got this Lamborghini of a product, but you don't know how to drive. And that is a very, very common thing that happens.
I can see that as one of your products in your toolbox that you sell is that people call a hotline and they call in for a half an hour consult. I'm thinking I have this, and this laptop. Will it work? And you're like, no, ka-ching, thank you.
No, that's really funny because I nerd out on tools. Like I love software. And whenever I hear of the latest thing, I will give it that 20 to 30 minute review because I'm like, ooh, what, like Chat GPT, right? It's like, oh my God, what is this going to do? How is it going to change my life? But I think that part of that is doing the assessment and then coming to the conclusion, maybe not right now. Maybe not now. Maybe that's a later thing. If they're still around in 4 years when I've got the money to pay for it, I'll do that. And like when it comes to Airtable, I'll be honest with you, I'm still using the free version. I'm getting to the point where I need to look into purchasing the paid version, but really they give you so much landing space where you can really try their product. And that's kind of what I'm going to say about that. But yeah, I would demo a tool for somebody. Like if you came to me and said, Jen, I'm looking at Go High Level versus this other, CRM platform, I would do a deep dive for you and tell you, okay, what are your goals? What do you need? Why do you want this? And then we'll evaluate it together. And I would give you my opinion. And that is something that my team loves to do.
Excellent. Excellent. There needs to be people that, number one, know what's going on out there, willing to monetize it, and people should be willing to pay for it.
Yeah. And honestly, sorry, I was going to say, it's like, I have to learn in order to teach, right? So if I have to take the time to learn about something so that I can make a smart decision for me, why wouldn't I share that information with my clients?
Exactly. And I'm glad that you're willing to do it, because I'm not willing to do it.
You got better things to do, Elaine.
I can't do everything. And then probably my kids will be like, why can't you do everything? You always told us to do everything.
Well, you are a superwoman. So, I mean, why not?
That's true. That is true. Now you told my business out there. I'll have to kill you. Hey, Jennifer, thank you so much for such an engaging interview. I just know so much that, number one, not even just for the summit, but past, moving forward, I'd love to work with you and see how it can add more value to what you do and expose you to my network. I have quite a few powerhouses in my network that I think will help you. So I'd love to introduce you to some people. So if there's one thing you can say to encourage people to come to your segment of the summit, what would you say?
I'm going to put my heart on my sleeve here and say, I come from where you're at. My background is your background. I have gone through the whole process of changing, from corporate to running my own business, and all the aches and pains in between, and dealing with my own growth and things like that. And if you had asked me 10 years ago, if I would be doing what I'm doing and feeling the value and the pride and the confidence that I feel now, I wouldn't have dreamed it. And I would just encourage people to take the risk and learn the things, do all the stuff, follow your passion, follow your inspiration, because you never know until you try. And that is what I want to talk about, really, is how to use tools to help think outside of the normal stuff and grow and make something really cool. Like, let's build some cool shit, Elaine.
Well, I know that this summit is going to be a life changer for a lot of people, not only the people who are speaking, but also the attendees. And I am so much looking forward to just being so exhausted at the end of the day, but so happy. So
I am so thrilled to have this opportunity to work with you. It's gonna be awesome.
Thank you. Thank you again, Jennifer, and we'll see you at the summit.
Thanks, Elaine. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.